There's a teaching that in order to prove that you've changed, you need to find yourself in the same situation, making the same choice, and choose differently. That's not exactly what's going on in Zeztz right now, but the way that Baku and Nox, Odaka, whatever, are contrasting each other is kind of similar to that, because they are both people who work for code. They both have issues with code. They both fight and destroy nightmares, and they're both harnessing the power of nightmares as well. Both in just, that's the way the rider system works in Zeztz, that they, the capsums are, fueled by nightmares, which I love that idea. It takes the idea of nightmare fuel and turns it into a literal concept. But also, each of them is now in a more powerful form, pretty consistently for Baku. He's using plasma rather, and Nox is using his new form that he has because he's got the different belt and whatever. And he's, I don't know if he's considered Kamen Nox at this point, or Nox Shadow, or what he is called, but whatever. They're in these different forms, and these are their, mid-peak forms, whatever you could say. I don't know if there's going to be something beyond either of these forms for them, but that's less important. What's more important is that, from a story perspective, they're mirrors, they're shadows, they're copies of each other, they're ideological opposites. They have a weird friendship or rivalry where the two of them are operating in this world with these rules. And each of them has their own mission, but we don't really know what Nox's agenda is. What is Odaka really after? And it's intriguing because, again, another parallel, another mirroring. He's in a similar relationship with the superior, being the lady that Baku's in, and seeing them so evenly matched against each other in fighting, in attitude, and in, worldview, perspective, whatever, is really fascinating to me, because it makes it feel like there's something deeper going on here. There's something more mythic, and it feels like a really clever way for this story to be explored. And honestly, I don't even know what the story is. I don't know what the topic, the subject matter, the theme really is here. But I don't care, because the execution and the exploration is so fun to watch unfold. It's really enjoyable. Even just the way they fight each other and the kinds of moves that they're doing. It's also dynamic and so interesting, and it has such great visual flourish that even not really fully understanding what's going on, it's really enjoyable to watch. And the important thing is that it works on a thematic level with the invisible theme. I don't need to know what the theme is necessarily to get that they're coming at each other, coming at these things from different sides. And somehow it all blends together and works well. And I find that really impressive. In fact, the sleight of hand is so effective that I barely noticed that the whole Little Red Riding Hood thing didn't really make that much sense or matter that much. All that mattered was that Nem was a victim, that she was taken away. I think the idea is, based on what Nox said to the lady, is that she planted the dream of Nem being eaten by the big bad wolf, whatever, destroyed, killed, in the mind of the nurse, so that Zero could be drawn out and killed or eliminated, captured, whatever. I think she wanted him captured, but he went a step further, whatever. And that didn't really get wrapped up. And we have this weird thing where the lady appears to Baku at the end of the episode, and then she also has Nem in her possession, which I don't know if that's a new set. Obviously, realistically, in the real world, they had to get the actress in there in that bed and whatever. But I don't remember if, the way that things have been blocked or filmed in that set, if they had to rearrange things to make that happen, or if she's always been there, or, could have always been there, and they accommodated for her. But, the whole thing about her telling them that she'll make her bad dream come true as well. What is all that about? Is Nem some sort of weird dream figure? Does she have a bad dream that the lady is trying to pursue? I mean, obviously that's what it sounds like she's saying, but that's also just what they say in general to the nightmare victims, to the dreamers, whatever. So I don't know. And that also opens back up questions of Nox or Odaka saying that he's like Nem because he couldn't wake up for a time. In that way, he is like her because she also can't wake up for a time. How long? We don't know. But it's funny because like those things, these like giant open loops, open circles, open threads, almost didn't even occur to me because I'm just enjoying what they're doing. And it's funny. I called it a sleight of hand. It's like, yeah, I'm going to distract you with all this cool action, all this cool thematic stuff going on that's like really intriguing you and drawing you in and, capturing you, and it's making a mystery for you to enjoy. And meanwhile, you're totally ignoring the fact that I'm not addressing all these other issues, which is interesting. And my big takeaway, my big, I guess, praise for the show is that it feels like it's perfectly balanced because we have a lot of moving parts. We have a lot of factors going on that aren't 100% clear to us, and yet it's all humming along like a well-oiled machine, and nothing seems to be out of place, and nothing seems to be really causing any issues because it's just working. And I find that impressive. I guess this is my praise of you, Takahashi, for making, doing such a good job with this. And, of course, the rest of the team who's making it come to life. They're making his dream a reality. And I want to know if you feel similar or if you feel different. Do you think it's perfectly balanced, or are there things that are off that you are bothered by or notice or are waiting to be fully explained or made better, made to make more sense in the show? Anyway, that's it. That's all I have for you. This is MJ with Writer Tears signing out.